stay ballsy. Don't take any shit from anyone.
Welcome, true believers. This is JohnRamboPresents the show. My name is John, and I am joined by our special co-host for the week, filling in for the beloved OJ on very short notice, by the way. He is the man that commands you to wash your hands. Ladies and gentlemen, Howard is here.
Boa tarde, galera. Sou eu, Howard, e eu estou acompanhado pelo meu amigo John Rambo, e estamos apresentando o show para vocês.
It's going to be like that, huh?
Oh, yeah, it is. I just want to do a quick translation, man. Got to,
What exactly did you cursed my name, didn't you?
No.
So John dragged me into this. I didn't want to do it.
No, I just wanted to do a quick homage to our Portuguese listeners.
Well, we love our Portuguese listeners. We love all of our listeners.
Yes, we do.
We have a big international audience here.
Yeah.
So you're bringing a little international flavor.
Exactly.
Are you excited today to co-host the show?
Actually, I'm really excited. Like John said, I was brought into this a little late. John called me a couple days ago, and I'm pretty excited. It's going to be hard to try to replace, or not to replace. Yeah, to fill in for OJ.
Filling in for OJ.
It's hard, but I'll do my best. You better
be excited. We're going for a 3-hour marathon show today, so I hope you're ready.
Wait. Dude, I got a cup of coffee right next to me. I'm all set. Fired up.
So we definitely appreciate you jumping on. I'm very thankful. I don't think anyone wants to hear me do this alone. I was thinking about doing it alone, but I don't think anyone wants to hear that. It'd be nothing but wrestling talk and me cursing, so no one really wants to hear that.
Come on, John. You're a very intelligent guy. Your vocabulary is more than cursing and talking about wrestling.
Well, I appreciate that. So on today's show, it's going to be basically me and Howard talking about some stuff, and then we will have a very special musical guest on. He's a gentleman that actually did a cover of my song Zombie Girl a while back, and he writes his own music as well. John, I was telling you before, he actually improved upon Zombie Girl. He did better than me.
John, you should be flattered, man, that people are actually doing cover songs.
I'm not flattered. I'm angry because he took my song and improved the song.
Come on, did he do that good of a job?
Yeah, you're going to have to check it out.
Oh, I got to hear this.
He's from youtube.com/DookieBirds. His name's Thomas Troutt. He'll be here later in the show. And I assume now my Ramborgia brothers and sisters are now wondering what's going on here. Where's OJ? So OJ, unfortunately, had a death in the family, and he had to leave town. He's currently in Long Island, New York, and he's going to be there for looking like a couple days. So
I send my condolences to him and his family. I got to send a message on Twitter.
Yeah, so him doing the show wasn't going to happen, and like Howard said, our thoughts and prayers are with the Harrington family. They are really, really good people. You should meet them.
Really?
It's upsetting them. It's upsetting to me that they're going through a tough time right now. But growing up, actually, OJ and his family were my next door neighbors, right?
Okay.
And they always treated me really well. His parents, really hardworking people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they would come home. They would often come home from work after like a really long day of work. And
they have to cook for you, clean your clothes, wash your clothes.
You're coming from work, a long day of work. You want to relax. You want to like watch TV and just wind down. But OJ and I and some other people would often be down in the basement playing games and yelling and making noise, and they would always just be really cool with the whole situation. I'm sure it wasn't very pleasant. So that's really cool. And, it's important. I think it's important when your kids though have that place to hang out where all the kids kind of go. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh yeah, exactly.
There's always like one house that's the hangout house.
Yeah. Usually for me, it was in my friend's basement smoking pot. That was the majority of my high school career.
Okay. We were just usually playing games but they gave us that that place to hang out and definitely helped us out. So kind of like the early beginnings of the show kind of came from the Harrington family basement. in a lot of ways. I spoke to John earlier today, and the man's a trooper because he sounded like really, really down, right? Mm-hmm. But he still wanted to kind of do the show. He's like, I'll do it through my phone. But he wasn't really sure like what would be going on or if he really could or where he would be and when this and that. So I'm like, listen, take the week off. Take care of business and come back when you're good and ready. And then I mentioned that I was going to do the show without him. I think he kind of got upset a little bit because what happened was you don't know about this. I didn't remember this, but apparently at some point on the show, on one of the episodes, I called him unreliable.
Dude, that is mean.
I know, right? So I don't know why this happened, but apparently I called him unreliable, and I would only take it back if he did not miss an episode of the show for a full year. So I'm a jerk. So on the phone, he brought this up, and it was like the saddest thing I ever heard in my life. He's like, so much for me not missing an episode.
But dude, has he ever missed an episode?
No, he never has.
Dude, he is the Brett Favre of talk show hosts. He is an Iron Man for not missing an episode.
Right. So I felt bad. I didn't even remember this happened, but I'm like, John, obviously I was joking, and these things happen, right?
No, actually, let's backtrack a bit.
All right, go ahead.
Repeat what you just said, John.
I don't even remember what I said.
You said I was just joking, right?
Yeah.
Anytime John talks to OJ, Rambo talks to OJ, a lot of times I'm looking at Rambo and I'm questioning whether he is joking.
I don't think you're the only one.
Dude, you gotta lay off a bit, man. You really beat him. You know that?
Well, all right. Let me say this then. OJ's very reliable. He's extremely reliable. We all love OJ, and we wish the best to him and his family, obviously. And I want everyone out there to let OJ know that the Ramborgia is there for him. Send him a message on Twitter. It's at Fresh OJ Some Pulp, and we will all together lift his spirits to new heights.
Yes, we will.
And I will try not to crush his spirits anymore. Okay?
Does that make you happy? Is this a promise?
Yeah, I guess so.
Whoa! Why are you stumbling on your words? It's a promise or it isn't, John? You're on the show.
I'm a jerk. So it's hard to...
We're sealing it right now that you cannot be a jerk to him anymore.
All right. As Howard and all of you as my witness, that's what's going on.
All right. Because you ride him too much.
I try to inspire great things out of him. I see a lot of greatness in him, and I try to motivate it out of him.
Oh, my God.
In all seriousness, please, everybody send him a message at Fresh OJ Some Pulp and let him know we got his back. So, this is actually our 30th episode today. Did you know that?
Really? I'm honored, man.
Yeah, you're on the 30th episode.
I'm honored.
We had something pretty elaborate planned. But it involved like a bunch of different people and all kinds of stuff. But with OJ's absence, I was kind of like, well, we should hold off on that. So, I'm going to simply move all that stuff to next week. So look for that next week. But all is not lost, my friends. We still have something pretty amazing this week. That is, of course, the fact that the great Howard is here.
No. Actually, yes. If I may, something pretty amazing is how much the show is actually spreading. It is spreading like a digital gonorrhea. I saw one of your tweets that you retweeted the other day. The guy took a picture of a random video, and somebody wrote on a comment in the comment section, Ramborgia.
Yes, they're flooding the internet with comments. Soon YouTube will shut down my channel because Ramborgia is becoming a nuisance. Well, yeah, things are going really good. 30 episodes. I'm very happy with that. And Howard is now here. Howard, what's going on with you? Give us a little update on what's been going on with you. I know you've been up to a bunch of stuff.
Aside from working feverishly, well, we all know feverishly on Project 7. Working with the guys from Respect the Pact. I have, decided to turn a new leaf this year. It was one of my New Year's resolutions is to do a little more focus on the YouTube channel since it was dead for a year. So
we're all kind of making fun of you that you never post up to your YouTube channel.
You know that hurt, right? All of a
sudden you go, oh yeah? you SOBs, watch this.
Yeah,
and basically. What you're doing is like really interesting because you're doing, well, why don't you explain it? What's going on?
What I'm doing is I try to do something a little bit more innovative, and I'm using Twitter as a means to communicate with the fans. So what I do is during the week, I try to come up with some ideas. I'm coming up with a pretty nifty idea this coming week. It depends on how it works out or how it pans out. But what I do is I come up with an idea of a game I'm going to play. If I can't come up with an idea for a game, what I do is I put on, I send a message on Twitter, hey, I'm going to play a game. What game do you guys want me to play or want to see me play? But the prerequisite is that it has to be co-op. So with it being co-op, what I try to do is, you and I have played co-op games in the past, but I'm trying to make it so that the fans are integrated into this co-op structure. So I'm trying to have more of the fans come in and play with me. So all
the fans actually choose the games, and you play with
the fans,
your followers on the videos.
Yes, basically. So what I do is usually it's any day between like Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday in the beginning of the week. I put that tweet up, and then I start playing the game. People come on to my Twitch channel, my live stream channel, twitch.tv/don'tblowthis, and then they interact with me. What I do is that I take a screen cap of the chat, and then while we're playing and live streaming, I'm recording it, and then I'm uploading those videos to YouTube.
Yeah, it's pretty cool because you can see. Well, obviously you see the screen, you see direct capture, like really good looking video, right? It's like really good quality. Mm-hmm. Then you have your voice, you have your co-op partner, and then you have the actual chat going. You can read what people are commenting during the live stream.
Yeah, basically. So
does anyone do this? On YouTube? Has this been done?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I'm just gonna go out. I don't even know if this is true, but I don't really care. I'm just gonna go out and say it. You're the only one that does this.
Okay, I guess I'm the only one that does this.
You're the first one to do it. And that's that.
Yeah, I'm just trying to, like I said, I'm just trying to do like a different approach. I really feel the need. I really can't play games by myself like Phil does and just do commentary. That's not something that I can do. So I try to feed, I played with you guys so much, especially with you, Rambo, playing games with you. We feed off of each other. So when we do commentary, it's actually fun. And I try to incorporate that a lot with the fans. The fans don't, a lot of the fans that come in and play, they don't understand that. So, like, either they're not talking or I'm trying to talk to them, but they're giving me one-worded answer. I don't know if they're afraid, if they're a little embarrassed.
Well, people aren't used to, like, just doing it,
Yeah. But overall, it's pretty fun. I'll sit and I'll play for, like, anywhere from, like, 6 to 8 hours and just keep playing. And one of my, the only thing I can say that I have, one of my greatest accomplishments this past few months is that I beat Dark Souls.
Beat Dark Souls?
Yeah, I beat Dark Souls. With
help, this is all from the channel. It's of course youtube.com/Howard Showcases.
Yeah, with help from the fans, the people in the chat.
You got to come up with a name for your file because I have the Ramborgia. So you have to come up with something for the Howard fans.
Oh my god, it has to be something with Dark Souls, dude. Because every time I did a live stream of it, I was getting like 60 to 100 people watching it.
Huh.
So any other game that I do, I don't get that many views. It's just Dark Souls.
They'll come up with it. They'll post it up in the comments. Yeah, so that's the goal this week. Is everyone come up with a name for Howard's followers?
What it is that I think the only reason people liked watching my playthrough of Dark Souls, or even in the Twitch on the Twitch channels, is that when I used to dude, you get to a point where you just rage. That's how many times you die, or like.
Right, yeah.
You collect so many souls to come to find out you roll into you roll wrong and you roll off of the cliff and you die.
Right.
And you can't grab your souls, or you forget to grab your souls and you roll off and die. So, and it was just funny. I think they really liked to see me rage.
To see you die.
Yeah, to see me die.
Who doesn't?
Oh man.
What do you think about the game? Do you like the game now, or like what are your overall thoughts on that game?
On Dark Souls?
Yes.
I really.
You're the only person I know that actually beat the game, so I'm curious to hear what you have to say about it.
I really enjoyed it. I think one of the people one of the guys in the chat put it very well. It's a real pain in the ass, the game, like to learn how to play the game but that hurdle, once you reach that hurdle, and let's say you've been fighting the same boss over and over and over again, and when you beat him, dude, you get this sense of like satisfaction that is so great. That's what keeps you driving forward to beat it.
Wow.
So, and that's what it was. And then I just kept pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. Don't get me wrong. I got help from a lot of people. Some people came on and gave me a hand. Some people got pissed because one of the guys kept giving me like really rare armor and stuff like that.
But, they were pissed that they thought you were cheating or something?
Yeah, but,
guy gives you like the machine gun.
Yeah, exactly.
The rocket launcher and the machine gun.
And then one of the greatest accomplishments that I had in that game was the final boss. I guess the guy that I was playing with, Ratchet NC1, really good Dark Souls player, and he's actually not a fan of mine. Or let me rephrase this. He wasn't a fan of mine before. He actually started watching the Dark Souls streams, and he just comes on every time I stream. He's coming on.
He just randomly found the Dark Souls stream,
and
he
just
like, oh, okay.
Yeah, he just follows me. So it's
awesome.
which is awesome.
Yeah.
So he came on and he said, "Dude, I'm going to parry the boss because you can parry in this game."
Yeah.
So he kept like parrying the boss, parry and boom, parry, boom. Then he said, "Dude, you should try it." So I said, "Okay." So I went up to the boss, first try, dude. Boom! I parried him. Then I kicked him off with the freaking sword. Oh, I felt so good. But then he fucked me up like right after. He like stabbed me really bad.
Oh, it happens.
But that was like my greatest accomplishment in that game.
Greatest accomplishment in your life.
Yeah, greatest accomplishment in my life.
Your life's greatest accomplishment.
I parried the boss in Dark Souls.
Well, congratulations on that. Okay. You got some interesting stuff. You started doing Monster Hunter. I don't think anyone's really playing that game, right?
No. Actually, some people. It's like I got a mixed bag from it. I have a lot of footage that I didn't put up yet, so I still have to put that up. But some people are saying don't play it because it's not. It's hard to understand because you have to like memorize the menus because they're in Japanese. The whole game's in Japanese.
Right.
And then some people are like, well, I want to know what the story is about. But Monster Hunter has no story. You're just basically going around just killing
monsters.
Yeah, that's it. That's the story. There's no real storyline behind it. And what I've been doing is I've been playing with Purple Narga. He's actually one of your followers, one of my followers.
Yeah.
I got to look up his. I don't know if his name is Purple Narga on Twitter, but and I've been playing with him. He kind of memorized all of the menus and stuff. So it's
is the game coming out in the U.S. or anything?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think what they said is that like there's not enough support for it to come out in the U.S. or to do a localization of the game.
Right. It's one of those bizarre games that like are so popular in Japan, but here people just didn't ever like latch onto it. It's very odd,
What's pretty cool is that it uses an ad hoc feature. So, like, let's say I'm playing on the PS. This is in Japan, of course. If I'm playing on the PS3, let's say you have a copy of Monster Hunter Portable 3rd for the PSP, you can play with me.
On the PSP version?
Yeah, like if I'm on the PS3, like you can come in and play on the PSP at your house, and we'll play together.
Well, if you have a country with good internet, that might work. It's gonna happen here.
Good point. Plus voice chat too, which is pretty cool.
Right.
So.
What's coming out soon for the channel? What are you planning on?
Somebody suggested that I do. I don't know. I keep telling these guys not to do this, but somebody suggested to do like a single player. Batman Arkham City, but I'm like, dude, it's single player. I'm not gonna do single player Batman. You can watch that on any other channel.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what you should do coming out. I don't even know.
That's hard, dude.
I'd like to do something with you.
Well, like I said, I got Dead Rising. We could do Dead Rising, right?
I will have to set something up with something that we could have a lot of multiplayer people come in, and set something up with the Ramborgia and your guys, right. Whatever they're called. We don't know what your guys are called yet.
I know.
And then we'll do a stream, a live stream.
I figured something out that I've been putting in the background. Actually, I thought about it today, and it would work. But you wouldn't. I don't know if you would. Would you play Modern Warfare?
I've never played it. I don't think I would play it.
That's the only game that's like a big multiplayer that we can play.
We'll find something.
Come on, John.
I will find something.
Ugh.
I never played the game. You're just gonna shoot me 1,000 times and make it mad. Plus, I don't even own it, so I'm gonna,
Come on.
You want me to buy Call of Duty and do a stream with you?
Yes. Yes.
That's not happening.
Come on, dude. It's gonna be you, me, all of our fans.
All right, we'll think about it.
OJ.
No, you got me in trouble because now I'm never going to hear the end of this.
Oh, no, you're not.
I'm never going to hear the end of this now.
You're never going to hear the end of this.
This was a mistake, Howard.
Come on.
All right, so I got an interesting question. You're doing pretty well now with all this stuff. most people know this by now, but you have a lovely girlfriend. Her name is Jasmine.
Where are you going with this?
I couldn't hear of that. What does your girlfriend think about this whole YouTube thing? Because obviously, when you guys first started going out, this wasn't going on, right?
Dude,
you were not Howard. You were just Howard the man. You were not Howard the superstar at that point, correct?
Superstar? Where are you getting this superstar?
Well, now you're Hollywood Howard at this point. So when she first met you, this wasn't going on. So how was she making this transition into your newfound public life now?
She's actually pretty supportive of everything that I've done so far, which is surprising. You know, a lot of
you don't think she should be?
No, it's not that I don't think she should be, but usually when you're dating somebody that's not a gamer, everything that you do is basically like taboo, if you know what I mean.
Well, I kind of have the same situation.
Yeah.
It's hard for someone on the outside to kind of understand what's going on, I think. You agree with that?
Yeah, I do.
You're not like, yeah, and they're kind of like, what is that? You know, you played a game for 12 hours and recorded it. Why? You know, it's kind of weird. You know.
Yeah, exactly. And what is it? I kind of made a promise when we started dating. A little while after we started dating, I ended up getting into like MMO really bad, and I made a promise that I would never do that again. Because it ended up really like sucking the life out of me. So, literally. So so with me coming back, you know, to start playing, you know, to play games again, YouTube really opened the doors because I wasn't just doing gameplay stuff. In the beginning, it was just, you know, we went to Japan and stuff, and we did footage of Japan, and which I was actually surprised when I would pan the camera to her, she was actually interacting at times.
Yeah.
So, she's actually pretty supportive of everything, you know, of everything that we do. She kind of pokes fun, but that's how she is.
What does she think about like the Project 7 stuff and like the acting and all that?
Oh, she loves it. Like she thinks, you know, she thinks a lot of it's funny. You know what's funny though is that she actually promotes it. Whenever the episode comes out, she reposts it on Facebook.
That's awesome.
So, you know, she's pretty supportive of what we do. And then she was pretty excited when we went to go film the Hole Punch episode.
All right, let's talk about that. So you guys came again at the last second. I always got you doing stuff at the last minute. I like to keep you on your toes. But you guys came in and helped out with Shazman Hole Punch. And so what were your thoughts on that whole experience, and what was it like working for me, underneath me, and doing what I tell you to do?
I don't know, dude. Like, you're very... What's the word? Nazi-istic?
Nazi-istic, wow. Oh, take that as a compliment, I guess.
You're like Steven Spielberg with James Cameron and a hint of George Lucas.
Mussolini.
Yeah,
and
Mussolini all together.
Gotta get it done, man. I'm doing that for you. I'm trying to get you guys in there and out of there, you know, as quick as I can.
Actually, I was surprised at how quick that episode turned out.
Yeah, I do a lot of planning beforehand, so I don't like to wait, you know, kill you guys. So like, you guys are coming on your own time, on your days off, you know, and I want to make sure everything goes very smooth and you're not sitting around for like an hour and all that stuff. So
actually, I want to put this out for everyone that I've worked under. You're like the best director because, you know, you actually took the time to actually eat with us and you paid for dinner. Hats off to you, John.
There's nothing to do with the actual filming. It's just the dinner is the part that does it proud.
Yeah, dude, you don't ever have to pay me as long as you feed me. I feel
see, that's how I look at things too. So I'm like, you know, I try to do what I would like. You guys did an awesome job in that. We were talking about Jasmine. She did an amazing job in that thing.
Funny that you say that. When we got home, she asked me, she goes, "Hey, do you think I was over the top?" I said, "No. What are you talking about? You have to be over the top." She goes, "Oh," I said, "You weren't over the top enough. You weren't your usual self." She goes, "Oh, well, you know." Okay.
Well, here's the thing. Like you said I was Nazi-istic, but like I pretty much tell you how it is. So you should have no questions about how you did because I'll just tell you. You know, I'm very honest in that way.
Yeah.
So if you're doing something wrong, I'll tell you right to your face. You know, but she did an awesome job. Like I was amazed because, you know, I had no idea. Like, she never had acting experience, right?
No.
She never did. So we start filming. She's reacting to things perfectly, which is not something everyone can do. I'm still trying to figure that out, like how to like react to things naturally. You know, while you're being filmed, you know?
Yeah.
So she was doing that. All her movements are perfect. And then she improv the line out of nowhere. And I'm like, yeah, we'll put that in.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, I told her, the next time you ask us to come down, I told her, I was just talking to her today about it, that maybe we should all sit down and, like, try to write the episode together. Because then we could, like, throw in lines or whatever that we just come up with. You know what I'm saying?
And you guys are definitely good for that kind of thing. It's awesome.
And I'm pretty, I was pretty.
So she enjoyed the whole thing.
Oh yeah, she loved it.
You liked it too.
Yeah, I loved it too. I think she looks like she's pretty excited about the next time.
All right, good. I'm gonna have to come up with something for you guys and keep it going.
Yeah,
it's awesome. I saw a few people commented like the way that you guys run. You're running towards Raposa.
Yeah,
people really like that. I don't know, like you have like this weird kind of a goofy run going on.
It was funny though that scene when we're walking into the shop from the sidewalk, and then I stick my hand out, right, to yell out, "Oh look," that scene.
Yeah.
She goes, "Oh my God, you like punched me in my stomach. I wanted to throw up."
And then she punched you in the face.
She goes, "You knocked the wind out of me."
She goes, "Now I have to punch you in the stomach as hard as I can."
She's probably kicked me in the nuts, man.
Yeah,
she's bad.
I get down. If that's gonna be the next episode.
Kicking me in the nuts.
She kicks you in the nuts. 5 minutes. I'll make a song about it. That's what it's gonna be.
Oh my God.
Let's talk about Project 7 a little bit.
Okay.
So episode 3 came out this week.
Yes, it did.
What did you think about the episode?
I thought it was, excuse me, honestly, I thought it was the best episode so far.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So far, I liked, like I said, the original idea I had for the episode got canned anyways, but hey, that's what it is, I guess.
What was the original idea? Could we say this or what?
Yeah, we could say this.
I didn't even remember what this was. What was it?
The idea, I pitched this idea like in the inception of Project 7. I came up with this whole freaking episode by myself where Rambo would be like the ideal like protagonist. Like
I'm the good guy.
Oh, you would save. You're like everybody's savior.
I like where this is going. Okay.
So, since it was like a military-esque episode, this is before we even decided to do like these worlds or whatever. I wanted to start the series off like this. I get like, I actually get kidnapped, and I have like a typical type of like 80s type of like action movie. The person gets like tied up in a chair. They have like a sack over their head.
Yeah.
And like this woman just walks out, and then she's like wailing on me to like tell me or to ask me like questions or whatever, like, oh, what's going on? And with Phil, asking me, we're trying to figure out where Phil is, and I end up getting captured. So I guess you come in and save me. You freaking ridiculous, like over the top explosions and you shooting people in the face, and and then it was going to incorporate a lot of like Metal Gear type of stuff where like, you walk around the corner, somebody's like exclamation point comes up, and and then you're shooting out cameras and all this other stuff, and you come and save me. And then at the end when you save me, there's like a note that drops on the floor, and it says like DSP is not here. He's somewhere else.
Captured.
Yeah, and we have to go look for DSP. It's not.
No, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's not DSP's gaming powers. It's DSP himself. So we
right.
have to go all over looking for him. So.
Okay, I like that idea.
Yeah.
I remember when you told us this was funny because it was
automatically got shot down because.
Well, the idea is really good. It's just the timing. I think your timing of when you explained it was just kind of odd because we. It was like the first time we all sat down with Respect the Pact. So we just met them. We're all like the first time we ever sat down to like think about what we're gonna do. And you're like, all right, I got this idea. I got a burlap sack on my head, and then this woman comes out, starts beating the shit out of me. So like, what kind of movie are you trying to make here, man?
Is it
She
a?
wear like leather chains. I mean, what? It was kind of like, whoa. But now that you explain it like that, I'm like, okay, no, that's a good idea.
Yeah, but and then it's like a running joke every time we'll write an episode now. This always gets brought up about the burlap sack.
Yeah, every time we sit down and make an episode, we're like, all right, it starts off, I got a burlap sack in my head. This woman comes out, starts whipping me.
I'm pretty sure that this burlap sack thing is going to end up getting incorporated in one of the episodes. It has to.
All right, well, people are going to have to look for that. You listen to the show, you get the inside scoop on the future episodes, I guess, right?
I guess.
So Respect the Pack definitely busted their asses on this one, man.
Oh, man, they worked, if I'm not mistaken, they worked more than 40 hours on this. Like, actual hours.
Believe it. Not only that, they provided the location.
Yes.
Did all the filming. And it's not easy because we're always kind of making stuff up as we go, so they have to kind of, like, incorporate that into things and make sure the shots are right and all that, so we definitely don't make their lives easy, I would say.
No, I'm actually, it was pretty cool to, like, I don't know. Did you like pay attention to like things that they were doing, like certain camera angles?
Oh yeah.
Like it's pretty cool to for you to try to make a room bigger, to like do certain camera angles, and it makes the room large.
Yeah, I've spoken about it earlier on, but one of the reasons I got to be able to do SchnozHole Hole Punch was I saw what they were doing, and I was like, yeah, maybe I can kind of do that. I kind of stole some other filming tactics,
Mm.
So it's definitely, those guys definitely helped me out a big lot. So
I like your style of filming, and it's just we just watch.
Keep it simple.
It's very simple, but it works, dude, and that's what I think is what distinguishes your style of series to everyone else's, where everyone's like doing all these like retarded like camera tricks and everything else.
Well, the secret is I can't do those things. Well, at the same time, in the same light, I don't know if I really want to. I think you kind of keep it simple, and it's more about the storyline and the characters moving things along than the effects,
But that's what gives the series character.
Right.
Is the simplicity.
And the blue vomit.
There you go, and the blue vomit, yes.
Let's talk about Project 7 again. The scene where you start rubbing my hands. Your hands are so soft. That's just classic stuff. It's a classic Howard moment. I don't know where you came up with them. I think it was from like every time we film, right? Let's say you and I have a scene together. Before Andre says action, you'll say some kind of weird thing to me.
I say it to everybody. I say it to
you do it to everybody, but you'd be like, John, your beard is so nice today, or something.
What, dude? I can't give you a compliment?
So I think what happened was we were tied together, and then you actually just did that as a joke. And then we're like, "Oh, put that in the episode." Is that what happened?
I think that is what happened.
You just started doing it like off camera. We weren't even filming. You're like, "Oh, John, your hands are so soft." and then they were like, "Oh, let's put that in." That was pretty good.
Oh man, yeah. I always, I just try to bring like a level of humor into what we do. Off camera. I kind of wish that like. I think Respect the Pack is going to try to do this more often. Is to try to get behind the scenes. Behind the scenes is key, man. Especially with the kind of like. Comedy that goes on. A lot of it's
better than the actual.
Yeah. Too bad nobody caught the freaking fire extinguisher going off.
Yeah, what was that all about? Why don't you explain? I wasn't in the room. All right, you explain what happened. I wasn't even there.
Dude, the scene was this. I walk behind like a curtain, and I go to grab like a gun or whatever. But in the end, what ended up happening is that. There was so much stuff in the back of that curtain is that I couldn't like lay something down or lay the gun to pick it back up. So Phil had to go behind the curtain and feed me the gun. Yeah. But I guess what happened was when Phil was walking in the back, I don't think it was me though. He was walking into the curtain and I think he hit like a fire extinguisher. It was really old, dude. Like I looked at the date and I'm like, why the fuck is this here? It's from like 2002, dude. This thing is not gonna. What the hell is this gonna extinguish?
Yeah, right.
So I think he hit it, and those things are very volatile. You tap it and it just goes off. So it just went off. I don't think he even had a pin. I think that's what happened. It's just like
I was in the other room and I come in, and I see smoke.
Yeah.
So I'm like, holy shit, these guys brought a smoke machine in here. That's pretty awesome. I'm like, wow, I didn't even know they were doing that. And then all of a sudden, it was like, All of a sudden, everyone's like, "What is going on? What is this?" I was like, "Oh shit! At least it's on fire. I better get out of here."
Dude, it was funny, man, because I'm looking. Yeah, I do it. I was like talking to you, or I was talking to. I think I was talking to OJ, and then I turn and I just see yellow smoke coming up, and I'm like, "What the hell is this?"
Yeah, someone noticed it first. People was like, "What's going on? I don't know."
Excuse me.
Something's happening, right? And yeah, everybody's breathing in the smoke.
Oh, and that was horrible, man. Having to film that with breathing that in.
Yeah, that was a bummer. But I seriously thought for a second like those guys brought a smoke machine in. I was like really impressed by that.
Dude, all they needed to do was get like some glow sticks and turn the lights off and have like a freaking techno show or a little rave.
Yeah, exactly.
Shit.
Film that. But I have to say, like, I got to play Rambo. That was like a dream come true for me.
Really?
Oh yeah, I was like, that's what because that's what I.
Actually, I have a question for you. I you know, a lot of actually, it's not just me. The fans want to know, how did you get the name Rambo? I know.
We can't answer that question.
Yes, you could.
That is my name.
I was born with that name.
There's certain things I use to troll the audience.
Actually, before we
because it's entertaining to me.
Yeah, before we go into that, if you guys don't know, the name Rambo is the definition of Rambo is violence in Japanese, right, John?
Yeah, so that's what I've been told.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
when I was John Rambo in Japan for Togeki, they thought of me as John Violence.
Oh my God, John Violence.
So it was John Violence versus
Totaki.
Buda-chan, whoever I played. Totaki, yeah.
Totaki. All right.
Here's the thing, Howard. There's certain things I use to troll the audience because it's entertaining to me.
Okay.
The name and the hat.
Oh.
You cannot take those things away from me.
Even the name, really?
That's my name. What do you mean?
Okay. I guess.
So, the knife that we used in the episode actually was like a knockoff Rambo knife from the 80s. That was like something they sold. It was like a fake Rambo. It was like a, like a bootleg Rambo knife that they would in the story would sell, right?
Oh my God.
I had since I was a kid, and I got to use it in this episode. So I was like, wow, that's pretty awesome. I've had this my entire life. I finally get to do something with it.
And what was funny is, dude, you dropped it, and like the compass falls off.
Yeah, it's a piece of junk.
Dude,
We found out that it's pretty junky.
A freaking butter knife is sharper than that.
It's not sharp at all, but what I was doing, I kept running up to OJ and slicing him, and he was getting very upset with that.
Dude, I'm telling you, you guys, dude, you got to film. We have to film behind the scenes. You guys got to see how Rambo treats OJ.
Oh, come on,
it's
man.
horrible, horrible, John. You want to kill him? I would have killed this guy. And then you're making acts that are showing that you want to kill him. What's going on?
We're trying to film, and he doesn't be quiet. I mean, we're supposed to do. We're supposed to be being nice to him today. He's going through a tough time. So.
Yes, he is.
I don't mean to be. Like I said, I try to bring out the best in him.
That's what you said.
I mentioned this last week on the show, but the night before we filmed, I actually watched some of the Rambo movies, just to get into the groove of the character. So I watched it. I was trying to get down like the movements and like the body language and stuff. So.
Dude, the best line, the line that killed me was, "Cassius, I'm coming for you."
Yeah, that is a double meaning. That's actually in First Blood Part 2. He says that to this guy Murdoch. He's like, "Murdoch, I'm coming for you." It's also Booker T says that about Hulk Hogan. I showed you that, right?
Yeah.
All right, yeah. So it had like a double spin there.
Oh my God.
About you didn't wash your hands. That was a good one. That was a classic Howard moment.
So we're filming outside of the general area, and somebody, I think it was Paul, said something about a bathroom. Let's film something in the bathroom.
Yeah.
So the bathroom was there. So I said, okay. It was either me or somebody else said, let's kick down the door. I'll kick down the door, and I'll just do shooting. Then John goes, I go, what should I say? Somebody said something else.
I think I gave you like a few of them.
No, somebody said something and was like, somebody said something, and then you said, you didn't wash your hands.
I'm pretty sure I was like, get off my throne.
Yeah, get off my throne. Yeah.
And then I was like, was like, I need to use that or something like that, and I'm like, you didn't wash your hands.
Oh man, dude, and that was a one take fucking wonder right there, man.
You did an awesome job. You put like a little southern twang to the line there, which was kind of. I was like, wow. Like I was watching you do this, and I was like, oh my god. You put a little twang in the voice.
Yeah, you know who
OJ just like swatting bullets with his hands like that would do anything. You know.
You know who inspired me for that southern twang was that guy that we met in Tennessee at the hat store.
Tennessee gentleman that we met.
Yeah.
Should we talk about that story? Is that okay?
Yes, I think we should.
It's pretty much a racist story, though.
I think we should.
All right. You set it up, and I'll tell you what happened.
Well, we're walking down the main drag in Nashville, and this is right after SBO or the SBO qualifiers. This is the day after, yeah. So while we're walking up and down the street, Phil decides that he wants to get a hat, like a cowboy hat. What's the name of that hat?
I don't know. It's just a cowboy hat, or traditional
traditional cowboy hat. The one that he wears in the Ask the King.
Right, yeah, he still wears that.
Still wears that, yeah.
Yeah.
So he's like, I got to get one. So he said, okay. So we found a hat store. We walk into the hat store, and he's like looking around. We're looking around, And I didn't know that buying a cowboy hat, you needed like a fucking person to fit you. You needed like special measurements.
Oh, it was ridiculous. It was like an hour, dude.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
I was all pissed off because I didn't really like being there, and I was hot. It was like 100 degrees.
Yeah, it was 120 degrees. So the guy, so we're walking around, and me and John are usually, the usual, making jokes and shit, and fucking trying on hats, looking like a bunch of idiots. Just like me, I'm just, and then I was like this close to trying on cowboy boots. And that was the other thing too, was I wanted to leave Tennessee. I'm still upset that I didn't do this. I wanted to buy a big ass Southern belt buckle. That would have made the trip.
Yeah, you kept saying that.
Yeah.
Could have gotten one with the Confederate flag. There's like a ton of those.
Oh my god, what was up with that?
Well, it's
those people. You know what? I'm not even gonna go there.
Those people. What are you saying?
I'm not even gonna go there. Yes.
Those people. Wow. All right.
I retract that statement. That statement. All right. So you continue.
All right, so I think Phil decides to buy a hat. So he's at the counter, and then the guy could tell that we're not from the area, obviously, right? So he's like, where are you boys from? So we're like, Connecticut, whatever. I was like, what are you doing down here? So Phil starts explaining like the whole thing. If I was him, I would just be like, we're on vacation or something. He starts explaining the whole story, and he's like, we're here for a fighting game tournament. And my friend John here, he won a trip to Japan because he won, and he beat me or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So the guy turns to us in the most racist moment I've ever experienced in my life. He's like, at least you lost to your friend, not some 5-foot China boy.
Oh my god, dude, that was the most awkward moment in my life.
I was like, really? And then before that, I forgot when he said I'm down here for a video game tournament. He's like, oh, you mean that Call of Duties? And then he's like, no, it's Street Fighter. And then he explained it. He's like, at least you didn't lose to a 5-foot China boy.
Dude, and it was funny because when I think back to it, nothing came out of either of our mouths.
Yeah, I was just like, what?
I looked at, you looked at me, I looked at you, and it was awkward silence. And I just started, like, I got that nervous laugh.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know if I still don't even know, like, it was supposed to be funny, or was he just trying to be, like, freak us out? I mean, I don't know. That's what happened, though. It was
Oh my god, dude. It was like, dude, as soon as we left there, that was like the running joke for, like, years.
It's still going now. We just did it again, so. I can't do the voice as well. I was doing the voice really good at one point. I was doing it so much. It's been a while.
Dude, that whole year after we came back when we were practicing for you to go to Japan, it was like every time you came to the house, we were doing like Southern accents. It was ridiculous.
No offense to our good friends in the South. I actually really like it, but that was a pretty strange moment.
Oh, we were in the dirty South, right?
Yeah, man. Fish out of water action going on there. So Howard, do you and Jasmine play the lottery?
I was playing. Well, I tried to play scratch offs, every other or during my pay period. So every other week I play $40 in scratch offs.
And then you realize you're like wasting money and you stop doing it.
Well, I kind of came to the conclusion that, you know, was it last year? Last year I hit $500 twice, but and then
wow.
When I think about it, I go, wow, I ended up spending more in scratch offs than I actually won. So it doesn't really offset the balance, you know.
Yeah, it's actually kind of like the casino.
Yeah, basically.
You win like $100 and then you lose like $200
And what's worse about the casino is that, like, especially my coworkers, they're misleading. They're like, yeah, I sit down and I played blackjack, and last week I made off with like, $2,000, $3,000. One of my coworkers said he made out with 50 grand.
Yeah.
I'm like, as soon as I sit down and I play, whatever, $200 or whatever, I'll lose everything in like one sitting.
I usually get up after like $50 up, and I'm like done for the night.
Holy shit, John! I didn't know you were a gambler.
No, I haven't gone in so long, but I've been to Vegas a bunch of times, so you kind of have to a little bit, So I'll get down on blackjack.
Speaking of which, did you know that our good friend Jerry is a professional poker player?
Is he doing that now?
I don't know. He had told me when we were still playing Street Fighter, that he was a professional poker player. Like, he went overseas and everything.
Yeah, he went. Yeah, he did actually.
Yeah.
He went to Ireland.
And he was in like a World Series poker, right?
Yeah, he won something, and then he went to Ireland. He went to Ireland for a tournament. They flew him out there and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah.
And I know, people might know his name. I don't know, Havad Khan.
Okay.
Who was on the World Series of Poker, and he was like the dude that, if you look him up on YouTube, and he was on ESPN when the thing was going on. He's this big dude. He jumps around, like, does crazy faces and stuff like that. So people might know his name. But he used to play at the same arcade as me in Danbury, Connecticut.
Oh,
and then he went on to play poker, and he won like $2 million.
Oh,
and I haven't heard from him since.
Wow, dude, that's
yeah. He won like $1 million, and he was on like ESPN Hardcore when that thing was going on. I think it was 2010 or something, or 2009 or something like that. But he's a crazy guy. Even when he played Street Fighter, he was so tall that he couldn't like stand at the cabinet because he was too tall for it. So he'd have to like bend down, and he had this crazy pose that he'd have to do to play.
He was that big?
Oh, he's a giant of a man. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, I was friends with that guy. So, I bring up the lottery because I think it was last week. The Mega Millions jackpot was $656 million. People were going crazy buying tickets and stuff, and 3 different people won it. And they each got $218 million. It's pretty good, right?
That's $218 million gross, or was it? Oh yeah, it would be gross, right? That's not after taxes, right?
That's before tax, probably.
Before tax.
But you're still winding up with a lot.
Yeah. So after tax, if you do, was that 40% that they take? 30%, 40%?
It's probably 30, and there's probably some other extra stuff on top of it. But
yeah,
you're still pretty decent.
Yeah. So you're probably gonna walk out with what, $100 million, easy.
Yeah. But just think about though. Imagine you had to pay like that much in tax. You'd be like $60 million in taxes.
Dude, I'm looking at it. And I'm like, whatever. You can take as much as you want, bro. As long as with $100 million. No, seriously, think about it. Do you think you can spend $100 million in a lifetime?
Well, that's what I was leading to here. So what would you do if you had won? Let's say you won the 218.
Okay.
Let's go. Like, what would you do with this money?
The full 218, or after?
You got 218 in your pocket right now.
In my pocket right now. Okay.
Right now, what are you doing?
All right. Well, I'm a generous guy, right? And I believe that even though it is a sin to gamble, it is a sin. God deserves 10%, so I give him 10%, right?
That's nice. They would take it.
Yeah, 10% to the church, right? Because that's a law, right?
That's gonna be a lot of money. But you think about it, if you have $218 million, giving you 10% of that was it what, $25 million?
Yeah, that's nothing.
So that's like nothing to you, but to them that's like insane.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Person, but to you that would be like nothing.
Yeah. Then I would take care of my family, which would be my family and Jasmine's family. So my parents, I would, pay for their house, and then my mom, especially my mom and my dad and stuff like that. I would just tell them you don't have to work. Then Jasmine's family, I would just give them, I would pay off their houses, whatever debt they had, and just give them some money for the kids to go to college and some extra money for them. Right. And then I would just
Would you move somewhere? Or would you
Hell
stay
yeah!
where you,
I'm going back to
where you going?
Japan.
You're gonna live in Japan with the millions.
Yep, with the millions. I'm gonna buy
That'd be the place to spend it.
Oh yeah, that's probably the only place that I would actually see you spending $100 million.
You'd be like the king of like Akihabara. You'd buy all the games. And then
Yeah,
you would have like you would own everything.
I'll own everything. I'd buy Taito Hey.
Oh, that'd be crazy. Imagine that. Imagine that. You go to Japan with millions and you own an arcade there.
Yeah, just go, dude. I'd go right to do like an asshole, like a typical American asshole. I would go right to the front door. I want to speak to the owner. I want to speak to the manager, and I just go. I want to speak to whoever's higher than you. I'm buying this motherfucker. No ifs, ands, or buts. I'm not walking out of here. Here's $25 million. Shut the fuck up and get the fuck out.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Would you throw me a million?
I would.
Really?
I probably would.
Wow, that's pretty, I don't know if I would do that for you. That's pretty generous.
I probably would. I'm a generous. No, you know, in all honesty, you know, even if you do, because if you think about it, you got to be smart. So if you grab the money, right? This is like simple, you know, this is like simple economics right now. If you grab the money, you have to reinvest the money. You can't just go ahead and just think, oh, I'll be fine for the rest of my life, because it's not going to happen.
Right.
So you just grab the money and just start reinvesting it. But you got to be smart about what you reinvest in.
A lot of it's a tax write-off too. I think if you donate stuff, like that's a write-off.
Yeah.
And if you like buy, if like let's say you bought Taito or whatever, like you said, like a lot of that's written off because it's like a business.
Yeah, but just remember, you're in another country though. So
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, the laws in Japan are different than the laws here.
That is true. Yes.
So, but you know, if you like I said, if you think about it, dude, even if let's say you didn't reinvest the money in like bond stocks, right? Which you shouldn't be investing money in anyways, because you're just losing money. It's like gambling.
Yeah.
What you do is you just grab the money, right? You can never. You got to think of it like this: you can never grab the money and just dump all of it in one bank account. You know that, right?
Shouldn't do that.
No, you can't.
You can't. Why?
No, because what happens is that the FDIC only insures $100,000, so you have to open multiple accounts that are equal.
That's like a Mitt Romney put stuff in like out of country funds.
Yeah, basically. But you can do it. Well, that's not right though. That's not right. But if you grab the money, right, and let's say you were to go ahead and put it in savings accounts, right? Let's say, I don't know, if you put like $100,000 in a savings account, right? With the APR or the annual percentage for that you would yield from a savings account, I think it's like, is it 0.5% or whatever?
Right.
If you span that out over multiple accounts, dude, you can get probably a steady income of like $100,000 a year if you wanted to. Right. So that
just live on it forever.
Yeah, basically. Or what you can do is like, if you're smart, is just I was talking about this. I was talking to somebody about this. Just buy like one of those. Chris kind of called me a slumlord.
Wow.
You ever seen those like large apartment complexes that are that have a corner store on the bottom?
Okay.
Those things, dude. When you look at it, those things usually. The one that my mother-in-law lived in had like 12 to 15 apartments inside. If you're charging like $600 a month in rent, right, plus the $2,500 to $3,000 a month in rent for this corner store, you're making $20,000 a month. If you buy multiple, like
so you got this all planned out, Howard.
Dude, I got everything planned out.
Yeah, I would have to turn to you if I ever get this kind of money.
Dude, I got everything.
Got this worked out.
But enough about me. What would you do with the money?
I don't really know. I mean, I've been broke so long that I think it would be very odd all of a sudden.
What, to just hit? Well, let me ask you this: when the Mega Millions and that happened a couple weeks back, did you play?
No, I don't play the lotto.
Son
I
of
did
a bitch, huh?
Pass. What, you think I was gonna win it?
You never know, dude. Hey, you never know until you play, man.
Isn't that what they say?
Yeah, that's what they say.
I feel like the whole thing is like the state. It's another way for the state to take your money from you. Because that's where the lottery's set up, so they get they tax it and make money.
Yeah, what did they say? The state of Connecticut makes $4 million. No, they make more than that.
Right, so it's all people giving out free money to the state,
basically.
So that kind of bothers me, and it's like the odds are not very good. But
well,
I'd like to become a self-made person.
Oh, so
when I completely fail and within a couple of years, I'll probably start playing the lotto more. But.
So your philosophy is work hard and
play hard.
Results.
Work hard, play harder.
Okay, I like that.
But I don't know. I was thinking about it. I'm like, I can go. I definitely want to buy property. Obviously, that's a good thing to do.
Yeah.
And I can go either of two ways, which is kind of strange. I could buy like a really nice, awesome apartment in the city.
In New York City.
Oh yeah, I would love to do that.
Like a
But I would
penthouse?
also love to own like a farm.
A farm?
Yeah, I could do either one. I can go either side.
John, I don't see you as a farmer, though.
I don't know if I would actually farm, but I would just have land that I would drive
Actually,
around.
you know what I could see you as? No lie, this is what I would see John Rambo as. A millionaire that owns a vineyard, making his own wine. What do you think?
Well, I don't drink though.
No, but you don't have to drink. You can.
Yeah, but like I could probably have a farm with something going on, but I wouldn't do any of the work.
Yeah, exactly. John Rambo's wine. How do you
Oh
like
yeah,
to drink
that's
it?
what I should do.
Yeah,
All right.
from Rambo's vast vineyards.
That's a good investment, right?
Yeah, picked by the Ramborgia.
I'd probably just like inside the house have a mini arcade, I'd play ST,
There you go.
and I'd do the show still probably because it's fun, and that'd be my life
There you
on
go.
my farm or on my nice apartment.
I don't know, dude. I when I think of John Rambo, right?
Yes.
I told you this before when I first met you. When I first met John, right? When I first met John, when people told me when people told me that he was referred to as John Rambo,
Yes.
I was thinking, oh my God, this guy's gonna come rolling into my house with like a sports car. You know, he's gonna walk out of the car. He's gonna have like a 2-piece suit on with like these ridiculous glasses, like those Eric Estrada type glasses.
Yes.
And then you're gonna walk out of the car and you're gonna do like that Horatio thing where you take the glasses off. You know who Horatio is, right? From CSI.
Okay. Yeah.
You're gonna take the glasses off. You're gonna walk into
Yes.
my house all cool. Then I come to find out you drive in.
Yep. The cruel reality of the
The
situation.
cruel reality of the situation. You drive in your car.
We talk about my car. My car's the whole wagon. It's the
whole wagon. The station
yes.
wagon.
Station wagon.
The station wagon. John, a station wagon. Come on, man. You could do
Here's the
better.
thing, though. Like, I give off that presence that I'm, maybe more than I am. So, I think you have to. I think in order to become the part, you have to kind of live the part.
Okay.
So perhaps someday I will live the part that I.
But that's what I mean, dude. When if you were to hit the lotto, I can picture you being the most extravagant guy ever. This guy is owns like 3 yachts, has like his own private plane, his own helicopter pad in his house, helicopter,
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, let's see what happens. What if it happens?
like Scrooge McDuck with a freaking
Let's try to make it happen, and then we'll find out for
with
real.
a safe, and he has like a diving board, diving into money, piles of money. You don't picture yourself doing that?
I don't know. I have no way of knowing. It's just
Come on.
I would have to have some kind of frame of reference. I've never had money, so I don't really know.
You can be the next Warren Buffett, dude.
Sounds good to me. I would start a wrestling promotion and do all the write all the storylines.
Dude, with that kind of money, you might as well buy WWE. Shit.
Yeah, it's more money than they're making this year. So. All right, man. Let's jump into the comments. We got a couple comments from the peoples.
Okay.
So.
Oh damn! You didn't send me the comments. I would have read them.
I could.
Send them to me.
All right, hold on a second. Let me. I'm gonna cut audio and then we'll come right back.
Okay.
All right, Howard's got the questions, comments. We have the answers. Hopefully, maybe not. I don't know. Let's do it.
Okay, we got a comment here from GHS Crisis. Literally, can't thank you guys enough. I always wanted to start uploading videos to YouTube, but was always scared of people's reactions. Mainly, I'm just super self-conscious of my voice. I hate it. Anyway, I decided to stay ballsy and just do it regardless of what others think. And I'm seriously having so much fun, even if nobody watches any of my videos. It made playing video games far more fun, and for that I thank you. You are literally the best entertainment out there, free or otherwise.
It's much appreciated.
I can kind of relate, or I could relate 100% with this guy about the voice thing. I hate my voice. I hate it. And that was one of the
voice?
I hate my voice, and that was one of the things that I always kept me from doing these YouTube videos. Dude, I have like the most nasally voice when I listen to it after.
I think your voice is fine.
And then I'm like, you
speak pretty clearly. I tend to not speak very clear, which is something I try to work on.
But dude, you have a radio voice, man.
You still have to people. The important thing is people understand what you're saying. That's the most important thing, I think, more than anything else.
Good point.
But so how did you overcome that? You had a fear maybe people wouldn't like your voice. How did you overcome this?
I don't know. I just kept recording, and then I just like, I'm just so used to listening to my own voice that it just doesn't even faze me anymore.
Yeah, I think this dude has definitely the best correct attitude here. He's having a good time now, and if you let the fear of what people might think of your voice get in the way, then you wouldn't be having this great time, right? So
yeah, too bad he didn't leave his YouTube channel, or else we could have plugged that too.
That probably is his channel, so it's youtube.com/GHS
Crisis.
Yes.
Look him up.
I think it's important. Like, you could pick out, if you like look at yourself, you could pick out all kinds of negative things about yourself. It's just the way it is. Because everybody has good things about them and bad things about them, or strengths and weaknesses. And I think we tend to focus more on the weaknesses than the strengths a lot of the time. You got to focus on the strengths. What can I do good? What can I do correctly? And then try to get the most out of that, and work on the other stuff as you go. Don't let your weaknesses prevent you from letting your strengths shine through. Does that make any sense?
Dude, have you ever thought about doing self-help courses?
I need to help myself first, and I can help some other people.
Oh my god!
All right. Anything else to add about this?
What's that?
You have anything else to add about this comment?
No, I just it's like you said, he does have the right attitude, and just got to keep pushing forward, man. That's all you can do.
Yes.
Whether people like you or not, it doesn't matter. That's one of the things that it's, personally for me, it was always difficult to do on YouTube. Is like there's always people leaving negative comments, and it's like John had said, we always focus on the negative, but
right.
You got to just let it, just let it ride, and continue on from there, I guess. And just, the only thing I can tell you is try to leave your YouTube channel open to anything, because you can't always like delete stuff. Look at the negative comment, try to let it seep in, and then try to do a little bit better.
I think the trolls, it annoys the trolls more if you don't delete it.
Exactly.
Because they want you to delete it, and that gives them attention. Like, oh, he reacted to something I did. That's what they want. So if you leave it, it kind of maybe I like to think it annoys them more, a little bit.
That is
You're
true.
not bothered by it yourself, So.
That is true. All right, so I guess go on to the next comment. I want to see John Rambo put Bob Saget in the Anaconda Vice from Horo 21.
Yeah, I don't know how this got started, but somehow people started saying that I should fight Bob Saget, and they started making art of me punching Saget and all kinds of things. I don't know how this all began. We started, we make a lot of references to Full House on the show, and then it just kind of caught on. So this dude wants to see me put Saget in the Anaconda Vice, which is CM Punk's finishing maneuver, or one of his finishing maneuvers. I would love to have Saget on the show sometime. That'd be pretty crazy, right?
Yeah, he's a potty mouth, isn't he?
Oh, he's a filthy comic, and people didn't know that. Like, Full House was this really wholesome show. And people would go see his stand-up and it'd be really raunchy stuff. But
did you see his roast?
Yes.
Dude, they roasted his ass.
Rightfully so. He's a good guy. I think he's really good. And that's an interesting question for you.
What's that?
Let's say you were offered a show, a sitcom. You got paid a lot of money, but you didn't necessarily really like the material. Would you take the part? So I think that's kind of like what he did. He was probably a strolling comedian, then he got offered the show. He probably didn't really like it that much. Not really what he does, but he did a great job on it.
Yeah, you're always going to have that inner demon. Those inner demons inside always pulling at you. You're like, you have one side of you that's like, well, I need the money, like in his case, like from what you're saying is his case. Then you have the other side of you where it's like, damn, you're a sellout because your material is based on you being an a-hole, basically, right? Is that what was that what his stand-up was?
Stand-up's just like really like it's pretty raunchy. A lot of sexual type innuendo jokes and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of an interesting thing to think about. Like, he's still got to do his other thing, but at the same time, he's remembered as this like really wholesome father from the show.
I don't know what would you do.
He got paid too, so it's.
What would you do?
I don't know. I'd have to really think about it.
Yeah, but
I actually like the show. I watched it. And it's got a special place in my heart, and we make a lot of references to it, like I said. So if the show is just terrible garbage, I don't think I could do it. Full House, maybe I could do. I would love to do like the Uncle Jesse. I probably can't pull off. Uncle Joey, I may be able to do that one. I'd probably do that role.
What do you mean you can't be Uncle Jesse?
Uncle Jesse Stamos. I'm no Stamos.
You're a good-looking guy.
You're more of the Stamos character than I am.
Oh, you're more the dude. You're a good-looking guy, man. You know that.
You're the Stamos of Project 7. I'm the I'm the Uncle Joey.
Oh my god.
All right, let's keep going here.
I stood ballsy and my ground to this obnoxious taxi driver after work tonight. Told him to tone down his voice because he has no rights to yell at me nonstop, and I've had it with this guy. I feel damn good about it and get to relax more and listen to this new episode tonight. Ramborgia for the win, the King of Hate for the win, Howard for the win, and Respect the Pact for the win. Stay ballsy till I die. By Kid Cause.
So you had a disagreement with the taxi driver. Do you have any kind of problem like that ever happen to you?
What, with the taxi driver being obnoxious?
Yeah.
Did I ever have... No, they don't... nowadays, they don't even talk to you anymore. Well, I know the ones in the city don't.
Yeah.
They're basically like, you tell them where to go, and then they just go. And then you have, I have ADD, so I just like pay attention to the screen now. Did you notice that they have like this little GPS thing in the
I never really go. I always take the subway.
Yeah, but dude, the last time that I went to the city, well, not the last time. Was it last time? No. We had to pick up Jasmine's car because we bought her car in Manhattan. Dude, there was no way I was walking from 42nd Street to 11th Avenue from the Grand Central Terminal.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so I had to. And I don't really know my way around the city using subways, so...
Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. People flying with taxis. This guy, he left this comment I saw last week, and then like 3 other people started commenting on how they had fights with taxi drivers.
Yeah, but didn't you have an incident as well where you almost got run over or something?
Yeah, I talked about that on the show during Christmas. During Christmas times, dude. It was one of those situations where the guy like slammed on the brakes and like stopped right in front of me, like in a movie.
Speaking of slammed on the brakes, do you remember that time we went with Phil to New York and we saw that lady getting run over?
Oh yeah,
dude, that was crazy, dude. She got run over by a livery taxi service, dude. And the guy was coming down Fifth Avenue doing 40, bro.
Right. Yeah, all of a sudden, walking around again. That was during Christmas time. Someone gets hit by a car. Then the dude got out and he's like trying to help her up.
Yeah.
And then we start walking a few more blocks and we see the ambulance stuck in traffic like 10 blocks away.
Oh my
So he probably got there like an hour later.
Wow, that's funny.
I don't really have any taxi stories, but I if you go to Vegas and you go into taxis, the taxi drivers are like the worst people in the world.
Really?
They'll just talk to you like nonstop, and everything like this happened to like 3-4 different people. And if they see like a couple dudes like in the car, they'll be like, "Oh, you guys all this like they'll have all these like overly sexualized things to say to you, like, you guys getting laid tonight, or you going to this strip club or whatever."
Yeah,
it's
but
like,
you know where they got that from? Remember on HBO they had that series Taxi Cab Confessions?
You think they're all being filmed?
I think so.
They're all working for HBO.
Yeah, everybody's working for HBO, having sex in a car,
Oh, all right.
Softcore porn for the win, man.
I see. So that's pretty much it. I mean, just the taxi drivers in Vegas, man. Just crazy.
Yeah, hey, did I ever tell you what, speaking of taxi, what the 3 universal words are that is understood around the world? No matter how you say it.
Yes, no, and...
No. It's...
dicks.
Whoa. What is wrong with you?
What is it?
It's taxi. You can say taxi anywhere in the world and people will understand what you're talking about. You can say Jesus. People understand or know what you're talking about. And Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola.
Yep.
McDonald's is probably up there too, right?
Yeah, McDonald's too, yeah. Good point. Yeah, but
Hmm.
I don't think McDonald's is like. I don't think they have McDonald's in like Somalia, bro.
That's pretty interesting because even like hand gestures aren't the same. Like middle fingers doesn't mean the same thing everywhere.
Did Andre ever tell you what the OK symbol means in Portuguese?
Like the circle with the three
The
fingers
circle,
up.
yeah.
Okay, what does that mean?
That means fuck you in Portuguese.
That's fu.
Yeah.
And what is middle finger?
Middle finger is middle. Well, that's starting to become more of a universal term, isn't it?
Yeah, probably just from like American movies because American movies are everywhere, so that they see that and then maybe that's kind of taken over.
I noticed that in Japanese anime that they do that a lot. Like, whatever character is sticking their middle finger up.
Okay,
So
it's sweeping the world, taking
yes, it
over.
is.
Well, speaking of Portuguese, this is actually a good segue into this next comment. I'll give you a little background into this. We at some point people started posting comments in other languages, and we kind of like told people to do it, but we didn't realize that we couldn't understand what they were saying. So what would happen was we'd go to Google Translate and translate it, and a lot of times they'd be making fun of us. Like one guy told us to eat cat shit, Japanese. So now we have an expert. We have Howard here. He understands Portuguese. So we have a Portuguese comment. So why don't you read in Portuguese and then do the translation after that, if you can, sir.
Ok. Nos Estados Unidos, bolas querem dizer testículos. Em Portugal, tomates querem dizer testículos. Gostei muito da vossa convidada nessa semana. Não existe nada como uma mulher que ama a cultura. Fiquem tomatados, meus amigos. Portuguese, from 19 Ground Zero 84. So it basically says, well, I'll try to translate it as best as I can.
Okay.
In the United States, balls means testicles. In Portugal, tomatoes mean testicles.
So you would say
Tomatoes.
that's like how you refer to your
your
balls.
balls.
You say you say tomatoes.
Yeah, tomatoes.
Okay.
I really liked your the person you invited this week. There doesn't exist nothing like a woman that loves culture.
Oh, okay.
Stay ballsy, my friends, or stay tomatoes, my friends.
But he put tomatoes.
Yeah, stay tomatoes, my friends.
Stay tomatoes by amigos. That was pretty awesome. I'm starting to learn a little Portuguese now because I got Raposa. I'm trying to write Raposa stuff. So I'll do a lot of translations and I'm learning things. Like I know amigo is friend, and
Yeah, but amigo's like more of a universal. Well, yeah, it's a word that's shared amongst many.
I know
languages.
prostitute is prostituta.
Prostituta, yes.
So I'm learning little things here about Portuguese. So why do you know Portuguese, Howard? Why don't you explain to everybody?
Why do I know Portuguese?
Yes, give us a little back history on this.
Well, my parents are immigrants from Brazil, both of them.
That would help.
Yes, that would help. In Brazil, I am considered a Brazilian citizen. That's why I have dual citizenship.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, so and I've been to Brazil many times. Funny thing is my native language, honestly, is Portuguese. The first language that I learned.
You knew that first.
Yep. And this was before ESL. I think this was before like ESL became mainstream in schools. So when I went to school, I didn't know any English. Mm-hmm. And the kids, it took me a little while, like 2-3 months to actually grasp English. But it's pretty funny when you look at it, like how quickly children grasp languages.
Yeah, kids are real smarter than adults. Their brains like sponges.
Yeah.
When you get old, it's like nothing gets in there anymore.
Oh, well, look at me now. I'm trying to learn Japanese, dude. Nothing absorbs.
Huh.
Nothing. So
fluent Portuguese. You speak Spanish as well?
Yes, I can speak Spanish as well. A lot of it I picked up from, dating Jasmine for many, many years.
Awesome. Did she learn Portuguese at all a little bit?
No.
No.
No. She says it's...
That's cool. That helps you with jobs and stuff. Like I only know English, so I'm at a disadvantage. I think if you and I were up for the same position, you'd probably get the job.
You think so? No.
Well, probably not because I'm very, I'm very smooth. But no, I'm just saying in general. it definitely helps out. I definitely love to learn Spanish or something like that.
But dude, you're the most amazing man in the world. Most interesting man in the world.
Stay ballsy, my friends. What are those peppers that you give me that you feed me?
Pimienta malagueta. Yeah, it's like some really spicy like peppers. I don't even know where they come from. Some deep within the Amazon jungles.
And then you start giving me these things. I'm like, I really like spicy food a lot. I'm a big fan.
Oh yeah, John's like, hey John, these are spicy, man. Oh no problem. Starts putting like 3 or 4, and then he's like dying out here because he ate too many.
I got to the point though where I'm fine with it. Like at first it was pretty hot, but they're really good. I really like the really nice flavor to them.
Yeah, it's funny though. Like, is that something that like Italians like?
No, it's not.
It isn't, right? Yeah.
No. You think about it, like, I mean, tomato sauce is pretty bland food. I mean, really.
Do you put hot sauce in the tomato sauce? I do.
No, I don't. I don't go that far because I like to. When I eat that food, I just keep it pure, you know. Mm. But I really like all kinds of food, though.
Well, let me ask you this: you being someone that's what are you, second or third generation Italian? Second.
Well, my grandparents are from the old country, so that'd be
third, right?
Second. I think, right?
Yeah, second. Yeah. You being second generation, do you does your mom still make tomato sauce old fashioned, or does she?
Yeah.
Oh, she does.
Oh yeah.
Also, it's basically
it's different. Like the way that she makes it is different than the way, like my father's mother will make it. It's like her side of the family makes it differently.
Oh, okay.
It's a whole different recipe.
So it's basically like if you were to go to the store and pick up something like Prego, it's like a sin, right? In your family.
It's not a sin. We never have it.
Oh, okay.
Like we won't have that ever. We'll just eat something else instead, you know. But if we're gonna have the pasta, then
she makes homemade pasta too, or it's just regular.
No, you buy that in the box.
Okay.
We're not going that far.
Hey, you never know, dude. It's a legit.
Some people do that. I mean, that's just. I think we will. We just don't have the time, you know.
Well, you've come to my house to eat. Why haven't you invited me to your house to eat?
You want to have some pasta over here?
Dude, I want to have an authentic Italian meal, man.
I got to the point where I can make it. I'll make it the whole thing. But I have to learn.
Whoa, you're gonna dish out the secret recipe, man? The family.
I actually like cooking. I actually do enjoy it. I just don't know how to make a lot of things.
Wow, why don't you? You never took culinary school?
No, I didn't know.
Come on.
Well, I do a lot of good barbecue. I'm pretty good. I know I do a bunch of stuff.
What kind of barbecue do you do?
I watch Food Network a lot.
Oh, do you watch that barbecue with Bobby Flay?
I'll watch mostly the diner. What is it? The diner drags and dives or whatever it is. With guy with the peroxide in his hair.
Yeah.
And I kind of took a lot of interesting ideas from that show. There's this one burger that I can do where they cook the cheese inside of the meat.
Oh yeah.
And then so you bite into it, and the cheese is in it. So I've been doing that because I stole it from that show. I take a lot of things from that.
You know what's funny about that show? Some people, I guess what distinguishes your dive or your restaurant from other restaurants is the recipes, right? Did you ever notice that a lot of these people give out the recipes, and I'm like, why?
Yeah, I know.
You know what I'm saying? They're like, oh yeah, well, I put oregano here, I put this, and that, and I'm like,
that's what I'm saying. I steal all the recipes. That's what I'm telling you. There's this burger that I did where you take a burger patty, or you can just have 2 sides of it, but take a burger patty, cut it in half. You fill it with bacon in the middle, and then you put the other half on top, so bacon's in the middle of it.
Oh, okay.
And then you put it on the grill. That's pretty good.
So when you make burgers, you don't actually get like actual, what is it, ground beef, and you make your own patties. You actually.
I've done it before. I don't really like to do it. You go to like Costco and you could buy they come in like 20 pre-cut things in a bag.
Okay. Yeah.
So those are cool. And like they make them now. I don't even know how they do this where you're supposed to cook them frozen, so you don't have to defrost them.
Really?
Yeah, they have this at Costco. Like they're completely frozen. That's how you're supposed to cook them on the grill.
And how's the taste?
It's good.
Really?
Yeah.
Compared to like a fresh burger?
A fresh burger's probably better, but it's not bad. I mean, with no time. I mean, you can make a burger in 5 minutes.
Interesting.
So.
Yeah, my mom just like she hand forms the patties, but then she she cooks bacon, and then she like mixes it with the meat.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah, and then she just like makes the patties that way. But that idea, I saw that in that show, the cheese between the two patties.
Yes.
How
you
is
be careful
it when
you burn your face? You have to kind of wait a second.
Actually, did you ever see that? I don't know if it came out. No, it didn't come out on his show. It came out on another show about this restaurant, I think in the Midwest, that fries their hamburgers with 100-year-old oil.
Where do they get the oil from?
The oil has been there since the inception of the restaurant. So what happens is,
what is the benefits of this?
I don't know. I guess with the years that you've been using the oil, it just, that some of the flavors from, 80 years ago or whatever is infused in the oil. But I guess what they do is they send the oil out to get like recycled. So it takes out all the nasty stuff out. But dude, the oil, when it comes back, it's still black.
Wow.
So what they do is when they're done cooking, they grab the oil and they put it inside of a safe because that's the secret. That's the secret to the restaurant.
Oh my god,
it is gross, dude. I'm looking at.
That's why I love those shows, because it's all this wacky stuff. It's so elaborate. At the end of the day, it's just food, but it's like
yeah,
they act like it's this crazy scientific thing. And
but dude, it's cool. 100-year-old oil. And then they fry the oil, like you know how you put fries in like hot oil. That's how they put the patties in there.
I would love to do a food show, like you and I go to different places, like they do on the Food Network.
Dude, why don't we do that?
Well, you have to make agreements with the restaurants and stuff, but
so the restaurants have to go F themselves. We're coming.
You can't just start recording somebody's restaurant.
Give a shit. I make the rules. I make the damn rules around here.
That'd be pretty fun though. Just do just pick out on food and that's that's your job. That's pretty good.
What dude? You could do a Rachel Ray type of the thing. Remember when the old show used to be, here's $50 a day or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could do something like that. $25. No, $20 a day, Rambo style.
All right, I'm gonna read off the last one here.
All right.
So it's guys, I turned 25 on the 16th. So that was last week, I guess.
Yeah.
So happy birthday, sir. I don't feel 25 by any means. I don't know what to think about it. It's kind of one of those landmark ages, I suppose. I just feel like I should be more adult or something. What do you guys think about it? Some insight would be cool. Much love as always. Balls to the walls. It's from Joe EM 1234569. So how old are you, dude?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Why am I saying who, me? I'm the only one here.
You're the only one here.
26. I'm going to be 27 September.
Wow, getting up there.
Yeah. Yep.
So what do you feel about this? Do you feel like you're old now, or is not something you really think about, or what?
I think once you have stages in your life cycle, you get you reach 18. We were talking about this the other day. You reach 18, you're an adult, but you can't drink, right? But you still feel young. Reach 21, yeah, I can drink, or I can be Leo. I can go to a casino. I can drink. I can smoke. I can do whatever the hell I want. I can rent porn. That's 21. Yay! And then after that, everything else is downhill, bro. Then for me, like lately, I've been thinking, like, damn, what the hell did I do the last 5 fucking years? I was like, wasted it. Yeah.
Just playing Street Fighter. Fuck.
Yeah, exactly. So you're thinking about it, you're like, then you're like, damn, and then when you reach 25, you're like, wow, I'm 5 years away from being 30. And then everything else from there is downhill.
Now you're slowly creeping up to 30.
Yeah. And
then, almost there.
Yeah. And then like you hit that midlife crisis, but then you're like for me personally, I'm at that midway point where I'm thinking like, damn, I'm gonna be 30. Now when do I want to have kids? If I turn 30 and have kids, then I'm old as fuck, right?
Yeah.
If I have kids now, then I'm not old as fuck, but then there's still things I want to do in my life, or I want to accomplish in my life that I can do or can't do. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, let me ask you this: what age did you feel? Do you feel like an adult now?
No. Dude,
I feel like within the last, because I'm 29 now, I think within the last year I've started to feel it.
Really?
Well, I'm an adult now. Yeah, I never did before, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. It feels kind of good because it's like, It's like, oh, this is where I'm an adult. This is what I want to do now, where my life's going to go. It's kind of good.
Yeah, I kind of understand where you're coming from. When I'm not working, it's great. I'm not an adult. I'm freaking getting up at like 8, 10 o'clock, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Freaking play games, and then I record videos or whatever, and then I go to sleep. Then when work starts or the work week starts, and then I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, God damn, I've got to wake up at 3:45 in the morning to go to work, and then it's not like you always have that thing in the back of your mind, like when I was a kid, fuck this, I don't have to go to work, I'll quit. And then you're like,
you can't now.
You can't. I got all these bills, I got to pay for the house, I got to pay for this, I got to pay for that, and then you're like, damn it, I wish I was 18 or 16 or whatever.
Yeah, it was a good feeling that, it's like, oh, go home and freaking, live with the parents, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't have to work for you.
I don't have to work for the band.
I'm only making $5 an hour. I don't know, I think like you said, like, I don't think you ever have to just, I'm an adult and I'm going to do adult things. I think you got to do your work. There's times where you have to be an adult, when you're at work and stuff like that, and if you do a good job and do the things you're supposed to do, then you have the time where you don't have to be an adult and you can, act like an idiot with your, with money that you earned. Right?
That's pretty, that's a pretty fair assumption.
As far as like the age, I don't think age matters that much. I mean, as long as you're happy. If you are happy, what does it matter what age you are,
Yeah, exactly.
If you're not happy, then that's a problem more than what age, regardless of your age.
Yeah, and then you start questioning, what have I done the last 25
Could be a
years?
really unhappy 20-year-old, that's not good, so.
Yeah, I guess the lesson here is to live life to its fullest, when whether you're young, whether you're old, you have to be, there's always a time and place for everything, but there's always a time, should always be time to do spontaneous things. Right. I think that's what makes you young.
Mm.
So like you wake up, or let's say 7 o'clock at night, you're eating dinner with your significant other, or you're with your friends, and you're like, damn, let's just go somewhere. And then you just, pick up road trip, let's go.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you can't fight time. You gotta go with the flow of it, because you can't go back. There's no going back to the past. So I think you just have to kind of focus on where you want to go, where you want to be, and if you're not exactly there yet, you gotta bust your ass and get there and take pride in knowing that you're working towards getting somewhere,
Yep. Yes, sir.
25's not old anyway, so
no,
don't worry about it, dude.
Can't
feel bad about your age because it only gets worse.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Like the point you are now is the youngest you're going to be for the rest of your life.
Yeah. Yeah, basically. Like I said, just don't waste, just don't go ahead and waste your life.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely feel like I wasted time at certain points.
Yeah, but
in the same light though, like you have to kind of go through that maybe to get somewhere else, So
well, especially with you, don't you think the recent accomplishments that you've made over the last 2 years make up for all that time that you quote unquote wasted?
The last 2 years have been amazing. I mean, I was actually going to bring this up, but it didn't really make sense at the time. But now it does. It's been 2 years ago. I was working at GameStop. That's when I left GameStop 2 years ago. Like this week.
Oh wow!
Is when I left there. So compared what I've done in the last 2 years compared to what I did before that, it's doing much better and much happier person. And but maybe I kind of had to go through that, to get where I am. So
yeah, would you have thought, 2 years ago that you would have been where you're at now?
I don't think so. I was in the pits. I was in the lowest point of life.
Wow.
So now I'm I'm top of the world, just pretty much. So
yeah,
we're gonna keep climbing too.
Yep, we will.
Howie's coming with me, and OJ's coming, and everybody.
I'm coming for your life.
Life, I'm coming for you. All right, man. So that's gonna do it for the main part of the show. We're gonna be right back with our musical guest for the week. Are you excited?
Yes, I am.
All right, here we go. All right, our musical guest on the show this week can be found at youtube.com/DookieBirds, where he displays his acoustic electric guitar mastery, featuring performances of covers and his own original songs. Welcome to the show, Thomas Troutt.
this hole, it keeps tearing through me. And I'm so cold, I can see it staring at me. Death so bold, why is it glaring at me? I can't look away. Death creeps to me. I won't leave its cold embrace. Death don't need me. Now that you're gone, there's no caring from me. Death comes here, now it's wearing on me. Oh, and if I die, will I see you? And if I go, will you see me? Death comes here to relieve me. The dissonance in my life, it clouds the way to you. Oh, to you. The dissonance in my life, it kills the path to you. Oh, to you. How could I ever be such a fool to believe your lies, your deceit? The dissonance in my life, it clouds away from you. Oh, from you. Oh, from you. That's it.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Very good job. Thank you. So I found out about your channel when you actually did a cover of my song Zombie Girl.
Right.
And you did a really good job with it. I think you actually improved the song quite a bit. What inspired you to do the cover in the first place?
Well, basically, I've been watching your channel for a while now, and I was super excited when you started putting up your songs. And out of all of the ones that you put up, that was definitely my favorite one. And so one day I was bored and I was at home playing guitar, and I was like, this is my favorite song. I might as well do a cover. I love listening to the show, so why not? So it was kind of like a dedication.
Awesome. You've said all the correct things. It was really cool for me to have somebody like cover one of my songs. Actually, it was pretty like it kind of blew my mind.
Yeah, I looked it up. I looked up like John Rambo covers, just because I just wanted to see if anybody had done it yet, and I saw nobody did it. So
that was really something. So definitely appreciate it. Was it tough at all to like figure out the song or like rearrange it? 'Cause you definitely did some stuff with it. It was good.
The chords weren't that hard, but the lyrics were the biggest for me.
Okay.
So like I definitely couldn't remember them, so I had them up on the screen. I don't know if you could tell, but
Yeah, they're a little strange.
yeah,
It's hard to remember that.
But no, it was pretty easy, pretty simple to catch on to.
All right, good.
Yeah.
So you write a lot of original stuff, your own stuff.
hmm
Where do you get your ideas? Where do you pull your ideas from for lyrics and all that?
Oh man, as far as lyrics go, definitely personal experiences. Like I've had a lot of trouble in the past, struggling with things like depression and sort of things like that, and so I kind of draw from times like those when I write my own lyrics. And yeah, I'm definitely not the best at it though. I'm definitely more musically talented than lyrically talented, but
So you start with the music first, and then you
Always.
kind of put the lyrics over.
always, yeah.
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 What kind of music do you like? What do you listen to?
Oh man, dude. Like people don't believe me when I tell them I listen to everything. I literally,
You seem like you would like listen to your stuff. I could definitely get that sense from you. Like it's very
yeah,
eclectic, you know.
yeah. Like I listen to everything from super hard metal like Lamb of God to trance like Above and Beyond to rap. Everything. I listen to everything.
I think that's good though. I think it gives you a little more diversity and like
Yeah, exactly.
you're never going to be stuck in one thing. You know?
Exactly.
So where do you pull inspiration from? Because from me listening to your song, your style like is to me personally feels like a mesh between Incubus and Radiohead.
Oh wow, yeah. I like both those bands. But as far as the way I make chords and I don't know that whole kind of thing, I think basically most of my inspiration comes from. Have you ever heard of Opeth?
I've not.
No.
They're like a progressive metal band. I think from Sweden, and they're amazing. Like they play the darkest chords, and I think it's just so awesome. So most of the time, I try to base what I do sort of around what they do, with my own kind of spin on it. But yeah, you should definitely look them up. Opeth, they're amazing.
I'm gonna look
Very
up
cool.
your channel.
Yeah, let's talk about your channel. Where did you get that name, Dookie Birds? What
Okay.
was this all about?
All right, I hate I hate the name. And okay, it was one of those things like it was when YouTube first came out back in like 05, 06, and I was laying in the bed and I wanted to watch a video, but I had to make a username for some reason. It wouldn't let me watch the video. So I was thinking like, what is the most random
Was it
thing
an
I could
an over 18 age group? Is that what you're watching a filthy video? Is that what's going on?
that
Is that possible?
that is exactly what was going on. Actually.
All right, I see. I do it too. Don't worry about it.
No, but I had to make a username to watch the video. So I was thinking, what is the most random thing I could think of? And that was the first thing that came to my head. So I used it, and I hate it, and I wish I could change it, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's one thing you can't do. You can't change names on YouTube. It's kind of a bummer.
Yeah.
You have like a couple other channels and stuff, right? Where can we find all your stuff online? Just give us all of it. People want to check out your music.
Okay, yeah, definitely. You can go to soundcloud.com/ttrout. That is TTROUTT. You can go to youtube.com/dookiebirds2223. You can follow me on Twitter, I guess. Twitter.com/TATroutt. TATROUTT. A lot of T's. Yeah, those are basically the main three I use.
All right, cool. I'm definitely gonna put all your stuff in the description box. If you want to click on it, check out your music. A lot of really great stuff.
hmm
And I really appreciate you coming on, man.
I really appreciate you having me.
So, all right, buddy.
All right.
keep in touch, and love to have you on again sometime.
Definitely. Hit me up.
All right, sir. Thank you.
Take care.
So that's going to do it for the show, man. I want to thank you very much for helping me out today and coming on. You did a great job.
I want to thank you for having me on as a co-host. I appreciate it.
All right, sir. Do you have any final words here for everybody?
Yeah, I just want to plug a couple of channels, plug a couple of people. Wanted to plug Respect the Pact. Remember, you can follow them at Twitter at Respect the Pact.
You guys are awesome.
Yes, they are. They're doing a playthrough of Fez, that indie game, now. So if you guys want to check that out, they're doing a really awesome job with it. I want to plug my stuff. You can follow me on Twitter at Don't Blow This. I have a Twitch account that I do live streaming, twitch.tv/Don't Blow This. Want to plug my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Howard Showcases. I want to plug a couple of people that have helped me out with the co-op. I want to plug Purple Narga. He's helped me out a lot with the Monster Hunter and Dark Souls. Same goes for Psycho Mantis, Giga Gamer, Ratchet NC1, and some of the other people that I cannot remember. Oh, Mackenzie9 as well, and some other people that I can't remember right now. But whoever I can't remember that I am thinking of you.
And of course, you find Howard at youtube.com/Howard Showcases.
Yes.
Make sure you're subscribing.
Yes.
I want to get on there soon, do something with you.
Sweet. That'll be great.
So. All right, my friends, we will return next week. OJ will be back with us. We'll miss him. And we will have a very special edition of the show next week.
Yeah, just remember, guys, if you just leave a nice message for OJ on his Twitter.
Yes.
Anything to, help him out. My condolences go to him and his family. All of our prayers go to him and his family as well.
It would be pretty funny if there's a time where I can't do the show and then you and OJ do it.
Oh, dude, that would be fun. That'd be
pretty interesting. I would love to listen to it afterwards. So.
Oh, man.
All right, guys. So for Thomas, for Howard, this is John signing off. Thank you for being a part of John Rambo Presents. The best and free and optional
diarrhea.
Good night, everyone.